Couldn't fix it. Didn't make any difference, did it? I feel defeated, I feel deflated. Doesn't help the fact that I've had probably less than 3 hours sleep. It's just not my day today. I hate being defeated. I'm sure some of you trolls out there will love this, because you'll love to say, ha ha ha, you couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix it. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to find out. I'm going to do something about it. So trolls, keep hating. I ain't giving up.
Hello, welcome back to Daddy's channel. I have my cookies right here that I'm going to after, and I got my cow here. One second.
So I've just got back from an epic trip to Denmark, courtesy of Grundfos. They flew a bunch of us out there on their company private jet. Mind blown, mind blown. Forget business class, forget first class. I got to fly on a private jet. I'm absolutely over the moon. I could not believe that I was fortunate enough to have this sort of experience. Forever grateful for the opportunity. And the tour of the factory itself was mind-blowing as well. I was in full-on geek mode because the amount of intricacy and detail that goes into Grundfos making their pumps is next level. And I didn't realize how much goes into it. And I know there's been some issues with the UPS-3 sticking and seizing. They listened to engineer feedback. They've taken the criticism on board and they've made the necessary changes to ensure it doesn't happen going forward. I wasn't allowed to film anything in the factory. Not that I would have done a video on it, because I know those sort of videos don't do very well, but it was really interesting to see what goes into developing the pumps. I'm not allowed to say too much because I've signed NDAs. Let's just say there are some big things happening next year with Grundfos in terms of what they're going to be developing. So keep an eye out and I will reveal more as and when I'm allowed to. Moving on from that, we've got an interesting video for you guys today. I failed at a job, which I'm sure most people would love to see. There's also some interesting repairs. We've got Worcester right-hand block, which everyone loves a Worcester repair. And I'll put the dedicated links in the videos so you can actually go and see the other videos where I've done the dedicated jobs on them. Finally, Powered Now, great job management software. If you're not using a job management software tool, try it out. It doesn't cost you anything. You get a 14-day free trial. You don't need to enter any card details or anything like that. But we are getting into the start of silly season, I'd say. It's September. It's going to start getting colder. The calls are going to start coming in. Workload is going to increase. You don't want to be bogged down by paperwork at the same time. So give it a try. I'll put the link in the description. If you like it, great. If not, at least you know you're no worse off and you've not spent any money. And any of the Unilites that you see me using in my videos, the main ones that I use are the IL-925R and the SLR 1450. And the reason why I like the 1450 as well is because it's got a 360-degree rotating light. You can change the batteries in it as well. So you can have spare batteries, have them charged up so you can pop one in, pop one out. You don't have to put the full light on charge as well. So check out anything from Unilite that you want. Use my code UNCLE at checkout and you get 25% off your whole order. And if you just want the IL-925R, I've put the link in the description as well. You get for 50 quid posted. So yeah, if you want one, go and grab it. If not, don't. Simple as that. Other than that, let's get on with the video. Oh, I think Arian wants to say something.
Today,
You can hold it down. Yeah.
today I'm watching this How We Train Dragons.
So we're watching How to Train Your Dragon. We watched number 1 and now we're watching number 2. You enjoying it?
Yeah,
What's your favorite dragon?
the blue one.
The blue one. Okay. Right. We're going to carry on with this movie. I'm going to finish off editing and uploading this to YouTube. Hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. Wish you a fantastic week ahead. And I will see you all on the next video. Thanks for watching as always. I really appreciate it. Right, how are we doing everyone? We've got first job of the day is literally just to remove this radiator and going to be capping under the floor. This is a job where I fitted a Baxi 830 combi a couple of years ago, and customer would just like this radiator to be removed. Underneath here, yeah, it's just floorboards, so that should be okay. Some of them look like they've been cut as well. Gonna roll the carpet back, see how many boards we need to take up. Got a couple of press caps which are going to come in well handy, because there's obviously going to be water in the pipework underneath, because it's going to be even lower than any of the drain offs or the radiators or anything like that. There isn't a drain off on either of these, so what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to lock off lock shields on either side, take the pressure off the radiator from here, and then I'm going to be using this new Turbine kit. So the Blower kindly sent this out to me, and it's basically, I'll show you how it works anyway. It collects water, it's like a flexible tub, and it's got a submersible pump in it, and that pumps the water out, so you never have to worry about it overspilling or anything like that. Luckily, because we're right by the front door, I'll set that up underneath the rad whilst it's draining out, put the pump in, and then we can just watch it all drain out. Let's get started. So just to show you how the blower kit works. So you've got a submersible pump. It comes with this whole kit. It's not cheap. It's about 300 odd quid this kit, but when you see what it does. So that's the pump running. There you go, you can see it's literally just pumping all the water out. And that just pumps it out to wherever you want. If you're working somewhere where you haven't got a lower drain point or anything like that, this is ideal, because you literally just pump all the water out of it as it gets it. Right, let's turn it off, we don't want that to run dry, because there's not that much water left coming out this rad now. So once it fills up again, I'll get this back on to pump more water out. And it comes with a battery pack, which you can also charge as well. So you can charge the battery pack. There you go, look. And you can also run it off the mains as well. Right, radiator's been removed. That's all been drained out. One thing I just wanted to make a point of is the quality of the system. Well, obviously there's a little bit of debris left on the bottom of the radiator, but considering how old that radiator was, this is the quality of the system after I power flushed it for about 2 years ago. That's what you get with me when you get me in for a power flush. So when people ask me for quotes that I can get it cheaper, I'm sure you can, but that's what you get with me. There's obviously a joist running under there, so I was going to cut open that one first, because the pipes, they're going underneath there that way from here. So if I try and feel under there, that's going that way. So I'm going to cut and cap it just underneath here. But I didn't want to take this one up because it's already been cut short. So if I cut that there wouldn't have been any support. So what I've done instead, I've cut the next one on. So at least we've got 2 bits of support here. Then over here, they can brace it later on, because they are going to be getting, all of this flooring is getting redone. So that's what they're not bothered about, the flooring getting messed up or anything. So now all I need to do is get this underneath there. Right, that's a bit of water there. Get that off. We can see that bit of pipe there. And now press cap, literally that can go on there like so. Press gun. Oh, at least I can see through this hole where I'm going to be pressing. Right, press, don't stress.
Okay. Yeah, that's been pressed on nicely. That's done. Now, just got to do that side as well. Okay, that one's pressed there as well. That one's pressed. I'm really tired today because Jessica did not sleep last night. I think I probably had less than 3 hours sleep, and my workmanship today is showing for it because as I've taken up the carpet, I nicked the alarm cable there. The whole house alarm started going off. Nightmare. But yeah, they don't use it. They're upgrading the alarm system. I don't need to worry about the flooring because this whole thing, they're getting it all retiled and refloored. So they said to me, don't worry about the flooring anyway. What I'm going to show you is the boiler that I've done here. Yeah, nice Baxi 800. So let's just top up the pressure now, and then we'll check those press caps, make sure we've got no leaks, and we'll be out of here. Right, we're back up to pressure. Just running the boiler through its purge program, but yeah, that's not leaking, so that's good. Nothing leaking there, so all good. Right, I'm happy. We're going to have a tidy up and then get on to the next one, which is a HIU repair. So stay tuned, probably going to be an interesting one, and hopefully I'll be a little bit more refreshed by the time I get there. I've got a Zoom call in 15 minutes as well. We're powered now, so let me quickly tidy up, take that call, and then I'll head up to Enfield. Okay, so I was meant to go do that HIU next, but the customer's not going to be in until the afternoon, which is what it was originally planned for. But I was just working out my logistics, and it would have made more sense to go and do that first and then come to this one. But because they're not in, I'll just come and do this one because this one's literally right next to my house. So I was hoping I could just get this done as my last job of the day. But yeah, just going to do a bit of running around. It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. I'm knackered today. I need to make sure I don't make any silly mistakes because I've got Worcester right-hand block to do. Got the block here with me, and along with the block, PRV, flow turbine adapter, and the AAV is gone in this as well. A bit of background on this one. I came and did a gas set on this. Today's Monday. I came and did a gas set on Friday, and when I did the gas set, when I took the case off, I found that there was the right-hand block split. It's leaking. The AAV is gone. The PRV, I was going to check it, but then because I've got to change the right-hand block anyway, I always change the PRV, so I didn't bother checking it. But pressure keeps dropping. It's going to be obviously the right-hand block that's causing that leak, the AAV, and potentially the PRV as well. I did check the expansion vessel, and luckily that's not split, but it is flat, so I'm going to be recharging that when I drain the boiler out. And yeah, let's just go from there. I'm going to try and film this as much as I can. I've got the neck mount, so I'm going to try and get some first person view action shots, but as you can see, it's quite a tight cupboard. Depends how face on I can get. If not, I might sort of set the camera up in this corner here, and yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's just get the case off and start working. We have it drained out. I forgot to say that when I did the gas set, I did check the burner seal on this, and thank God that isn't leaking. So that was one thing, otherwise I would have had to shut the boiler down on Friday, which wouldn't have been ideal. So that's all good. Well, it's not an ideal, it's a Worcester. Vessel's been recharged. It's all drained out. Just turn that off for the time being because obviously you're going to get wind noise, but I've got that on in the background. That is such a godsend in this heat. Now, I am going to start by, well, the whole right-hand block's got to come out anyway. Do you know what? The AAV, does the right-hand block come with the AAV already on it? It's been so long since I've done one. Which one? Oh no. No, because the AAV is on the pump. Right-hand block is just that bit there. But it does come with a new diverter valve. And that's why this is the more expensive one, because it comes with the whole diverter valve kit on it as well. It's fine, I've done it right. I have picked up the AAV as well because that does need replacing. I'll show you before we actually get started. So AAV is all crusted up there, and you can see on the right hand side the right hand block is gone. Let's start taking all this apart. Let's get this done today. right hand block is out. The plate doesn't look too bad. That PRV has definitely been going. As you can see, the cup is all crusted up there. Now I have done a dedicated video on how I do a right hand block. I am sweating buckets, as you can see, because I forgot to put the fan on. I went downstairs to get some, I came back up and been working, I forgot to put the fan on, so now I'm sweating buckets. Like I said, I've done a dedicated video on how to do a right hand block. I don't know if I'm going to turn this into a dedicated video, or I'll link it in this video and in the description, so you guys can get a good idea of what it's like to do one of these jobs. Now, there's a few different ways of doing these. Some people like to take the whole block out. I do each side as in how I need it to be done. Here we can see the bit's a bit better, so that's going to get changed. Obviously the PRV has definitely been going, so that's going to get replaced. That's where the right hand block has all split, and that's quite common where it goes. And obviously I'm not going to be reusing that flow turbine adapter, that's going to get replaced anyway. What was I going to say? The bypass, that's the one thing that a lot of people do struggle with on this job. Now there's a few different ways of doing it. The way I do it is I leave the bypass connected into the right hand block and I disconnect it from the left hand block, because I feel once you've got all that undone and you pull it forward, you've got wiggle room. Make sure you soak in WD-40. Like I said, because I haven't done one of these in so long and I'm so tired today, I'm just forgetting the normal steps. I didn't soak everything in WD-40 first, which is the first thing I do normally. As soon as I get in, and I know this is a job I'm doing, start soaking everything up in WD-40 first, then drain down, blah, 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 blah. So it just gives it time to soak in. That bypass was pretty stiff in there. I did take the clip out on the right hand block because I was struggling a bit and I thought maybe I need to pop it out from there. But then I had to go and rewatch my own video to see how I've done it. And I said in that video as well, and I showed it, that I leave the bypass connected into the right hand block and pop it out the left hand side. So that's when we're disconnected now. I'm actually gonna have some lunch because it's 1:45. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. Chuck the fan on, have some lunch, and then we'll start making this up, and I'll go through how I make it up when I do that. And also, in true Worcester fashion, as I was trying to get it out, my hand hit this side here. Now I thought, do you know what? I'm wearing these gloves, should be okay. Went through the knuckle bit there, went through my black member, and now you can see we have some claret coming through. Lovely. Thank you, Worcester. Let's have some lunch, let's have some water, and then let's put this back together. Lunch is done. Eggs and avocado in my belly. Let's go. The first thing I do on a right hand block, now I learnt this the first time I did one. I think I might show it in the video that I've done it the first time around. You want to undo everything from here and redo it on here. Obviously I've got a new PRV, I've got a new AAV that's going to go on there, and I've got a new flow turbine adapter which is going to sit inside there. What we need to do from the old block is take that, chuck it in there for now. We need to remove the bypass, pop that in there, and the return isolation, not isolation valve, the return nut. You remove that and pop it into here. Now, little trick, or little tip, not a trick, it's a tip. Don't change the O-ring on that, because if you change the O-ring on that, the new O-ring is obviously considerably fatter. It's not been compressed. I've always struggled to put it in when I put the new O-ring in. So I've stopped doing that, and I've literally just take this out and grease it up and pop it in. It's a much more easier process, and it doesn't leak. I've not had it leak. I bet you now, touch wood, it's going to leak, but I've not had it leak so far, and I hope it doesn't this time. Let's get this dressed. Let's get it taken off here. Let's pop stuff on here, build this up, get the right hand block in first, then we can get the pump in with the AAV and everything. The new right hand block is made up. Like I've said, PRV's in there. I put the big fat O-ring on there for the pump connection. Bypass is in, flow turbine adapter is in. I will also put a link in this video and in the description to how to change a flow turbine adapter, because you need to make sure that you get it in the right way around. And also you need to remove it from the old one because it's got 2 flow restrictors in there, which you need to transfer into the new one, because the new one is literally just a plastic housing. It's like 4 or 5 quid, something like that. But you need to make sure that you put in those flow restrictors so that the boiler knows what flow rate to deliver. Otherwise it will frag out. All the O-rings and everything are in. Got the 2 plate O-rings in there. Like I said, I didn't change that O-ring. I've left it in, and even then it was a little bit to go in, but that's gone in. I've also greased up the PRV cup. I've greased up the bypass connection there. I've changed the O-ring on the expansion vessel hose. I need to grease that up, and I also need to grease up the O-ring on what's it called, pressure gauge capillary tube. But I can do that afterwards, because I'm going to get the right hand block in first, get that all done, and then I'll do the pump, and then the expansion vessel will go onto the pump, and the pressure gauge will go into the pump connection as well. I just tried getting that out and it seized solid, so I've soaked it in WD-40, let that sit for a while whilst I put this back together, and then, oh, look at that, put this back together, and then we'll deal with the rest of it. Right, we are all back together now. All the connections are in. Remember to shut the manual vent as well before I fill up, otherwise water fountain, which we don't want. So everything's been tightened up. I've got to do drop system because obviously I've disconnected the gas connection. That clip actually went in a lot more easier than I thought it would. And everything else seems to be a-okay. First thing I'm going to do is hot tap is open. Let's turn on the cold mains first and test everything there. Right, water is coming on. Okay, that's a good sign. Turn that off. Nice, pretty good flow rate here by the looks of it. So now that's off, we just wipe that connection down. Okay, domestic side, it's all looking good. Okay, let's fill her up now. Okay, let's open up. Returns open, flows open, and let's start topping off. So a touch over 1.5 bar, and we have no drippy, no drippy, no drippy, yes, no drippy. Okay, I'm going to tidy up, I'm going to purge it out, test it, make sure we're all good, and then I'll just do a little last closing video and then we'll get on to the next one. Okay, I totally forgot to record the end of that Worcester right hand block, but there wasn't really much to see other than the boiler firing up and working. I've just rocked up now to Enfield at the HIU job. I've taken a few bits up. It's on the 12th floor. I've got a parking space here, which is great. I'm just coming back down here to grab the last few bits that I need. Let's go back up and let's try and get this one up and running as well. This is the HIU that I was at a couple of weeks ago. Now the problem here that they're having is when you run a hot tap, it comes out with decent flow and then just goes down to a dribble. If we open up the hot tap here, see? And then it just goes down to a little dribble. Compared to the cold, I've got in touch with the manufacturer because, like I said, I'm not a HIU specialist, but I look after, somehow I end up looking after all their units in this block of flats. And it was Pegler Yorkshire who initially made these, I called them, they don't deal with them anymore. They passed me on to Flamcoal, and Flamcoal gave me the number of a dedicated person who deals with these units, and he's confirmed that the problem is going to be the domestic plate heat exchanger, which is likely to be all furred up inside, and that's what's causing the flow rate to basically diminish. And he actually said, are you getting a nice blast of pressure and then it dwindles down to a dribble? I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, it's going to be the plate. I thought the plate was a lot more easily accessible than I remember, but it's not, which means I'm going to have to do a lot of stripping out. Those two nuts at the back shouldn't be too difficult to get to, but the bottom two will be. So it means I'm going to take the vessel off, starts basically just stripping out bits and bobs. I'm going to try and minimize how much I need to strip out, but I will need to get access to there, and the easiest way to get to that is to remove the vessel, which is what I've done on the last HRU job that I've done, where I changed the PM valve. So let's get this off, let's get this all drained out, let's get that plate off. Got some spirits of salts in the van, so we'll take the plate down to the van. There's a drain grate out there, so I'll put it over there, flush it through, and then yeah, we should be good. Let's get cracking. Finally got the plate out. That is a big old plate on these units, but you saw I struggled. Back nut there, just trying to get that off took me the longest. The rest of it wasn't actually too bad, because once I started taking off the front connections, that bit came out the front there, so that gave me access to the back, and it's just 3/4 inch fiber washers. Front nut there, that came off nice and easy. The back nut even came, as in the actual connection came off nice and easy, but I was just trying to get the actual locking nut off, which was an absolute nightmare. Got it off now. Now I'm gonna take that plate, like I said, to the car park. There's a grate there, a drain grate. Put it on there, pour some spirits of salts down it, and then flush it through. Bring it back up here, put it all back together. Right, let's try that now. Well, the fact that I can see fumes coming off of it tells me, yeah, look, it's starting to bubble. The fact that it's bubbling means it's reacting with the scale inside the plate. Now this is the system side, which I don't think should be that dirty. I might have to go and get another bottle of, yeah. Well, that's definitely bubbling in there. We'll go to the van. That's a whole bottle. I didn't realise how big the plate was, but I've got another bottle in the van, or half a bottle. That should be enough to get this out. But in the meantime, at least I'll leave that to sit for about 15 minutes or so, and then flush it through. Right, all back together. I didn't film me putting it back together because it would have just been the reverse for me taking it apart and unbattered. A moment of truth. Let's start opening up some of these isolation valves. The heating side. This is the cold in. And these are the primaries. Okay, right, cool. So now let's see what's going on. The hot taps, what's that? Right. It's all cold. Nothing's worked. It's not worked. After all that, if I wind that in, that gives us better flow. But it's not cold. I mean, it's not hot. It's cold. So now I need to call this guy in Flamco, tell him what I've done and it's not worked, and see what else he advises. Great. Couldn't fix it. Didn't make any difference, did it? I feel defeated, I feel deflated. Doesn't help the fact that I've had probably less than 3 hours sleep. It's just not my day today. I hate being defeated. I'm sure some of you trolls out there will love this, because you'll love to say, ha ha ha, you couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix it. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to find out. I'm going to do something about it. So trolls, keep hating and giving up.